Hey guys, this is Chen and welcome to my channel. Now today I'm going to talk about rent to own scheme. Now what is rent to own? Now, if you're thinking about the terms rent to own, it basically means that you're supposed to pay the rental at the beginning and eventually you then start to own the house then belongs to you. Okay, so those days, there are some developers whereby they have some very innovative package. Say, the property is completed and you can actually stay in the house first and then you pay a rental. And after maybe 2 years of renting and you love the place, so whatever rental that you have paid will goes into the down payment of your house. Okay, and eventually you own the house. So that was the rent to own scheme. But nowadays there is also rent to own scheme that is given by the financial institution. Maybank has a rent to own scheme which is called house key. Okay, so you got to understand now. Some of you may have heard of this term house key. All right, it is literally a rent to own scheme. Now, if you do not know what is this, in short, if you are buying, say, a new property development, okay, you are supposed to get a loan, a mortgage loan. And so house key came in and then introduced this new scheme which is called the rent to own scheme. Now, what is this? In short, what you need to pay, instead of paying a 10% down payment upon signing SPA, you are just paying a 3 months deposit. So they calculate based on your monthly repayment, say assuming it's 1,000 ringgit. So you have to pay a 3 months of your deposit based on the 1,000 ringgit as a form of deposit. Now, when I say deposit, meaning to say later on you can actually take back that 3 months deposit. Now the 3 months deposit may end up to be approximately 1% of your selling price. Okay, so then the second thing is that you do not have to pay anything during the construction period. Now, when I say you do not need to pay anything during the construction period, doesn't mean you don't have to pay later. Okay, there is always a cost. Everything is added into your loan. So later on, when the property is completed, you basically have to still pay back that interest during the construction. It's just that within that first few years, as the developer is building, you do not need to pay anything during the construction period. Okay, then the question is, when it is completed, when does the rental starts? The rental starts, so-called the rental payment starts the moment it takes vacant possession, and then you will have to pay for your rental for at least a year, minimum 1 year. So 1 year to 5 years, you can actually have the options, and then you can basically rent it within this period of time, and then you decide if you want to then own the place. Okay, now the thing is this: how then do you own the place? Because you must understand, this rental, so-called rent to own scheme, you are not the rightful owner. Okay, the bank is. So you are just like a tenant that is paying a rental. The difference between this kind of tenant and the usual tenant is that the usual tenant, in terms of the maintenance, quit rent assessment, and all other things, are basically except the utility, of course, and the water bill, is borne by the owner. All right, but in this case, if you're taking a rent to own scheme from house key, all this whatever payment, be it your maintenance, your quit rent assessment, everything you have to pay. Basically, you need to pay whatever the owner is paying, but you are just a tenant. Okay, so that is the rent to own scheme. Then the second thing is that say after 1 year, you decided to own the unit, then what you need to do is you have to then convert to a mortgage loan, which means you then have to so-called refinance your unit, either back to the same bank, or you have to refinance to another bank. Now the question is this: when you refinance, you need to ask yourself this question: do you need to pay, the loan legal fees again? Do you need to, is there any other payment that you have to pay? So these are the things that you need to ask the lawyer. Or during the rental, period, if you fail to pay any of the payment like maintenance, quick rent assessment, what is going to happen? Is Maybank going to deduct directly from your account? So these are the questions that you can ask either the lawyer or the banker. So if you're taking a rent to own scheme, and if you like it, do comment below. Or for those of you, let's say if you have already taken a rent to own scheme and you have successfully converted from rental to become an owner, do share your experience below. Okay, so if you like what I shared today, do follow, subscribe, like and share, and I shall continue to share more tips. So see you. Bye.